Hi, welcome. After a couple of technical difficulties, I've actually managed to go live, which is awesome. So yeah, welcome to my page. I'm actually going live on Facebook here, but it's going to go pre-recorded onto YouTube as well for people to watch, and also onto Instagram later for people to watch on replay. So just to get a bit of interaction going. If you are live in Facebook, please drop a heart below. If you're watching a replay in Instagram or Facebook, smiley face and a thumbs up. If you're on YouTube, get those algorithms firing up. Get this message out to as many people as possible. So if you're joining me on YouTube, welcome to this channel. We're talking all things mindfulness, mental health, and presence. And hopefully some of the stuff I'll share is just from my experience, my understanding, and how life affects me and things I've done to kind of find peace. So yeah, what we're talking about today. Today is a really key subject for me. Talking about triggers and how to deal with them. So triggers are a big part of my life prior to practicing this stuff, especially when I first became a father just over 4 years ago. It really accentuated that feeling of not being enough, like worrying about not being able to provide, anxiety around this sudden change in my life, and change in how I was feeling about myself. And you know, triggers for me are when either something comes in from the outside world that triggers that feeling, you know, that like feeling in the heart, that feeling that kind of makes you clam up, or something comes in and or something from the past or something from the future in your head, you know, the thinking just sets off, and that then is then followed by this feeling in the heart, you know, that awful anxiety or feeling or depression, and you just that thing you just really can't shift, and it's just horrible. And it's, you know, it took me to some dark places. I won't go into my past in this video, but it took me to some really dark places. But I've learnt to deal with this. And nowadays, 90% of the time, I'm peaceful. I don't really respond to triggers. Things that used to trigger me just don't bother me anymore. So I just wanted to share a bit on some of the things that I do that help me in my everyday life. Some little techniques, and a little bit of understanding about what triggers are, and why we kind of get them. So like I said, for me, there's two kinds of triggers. There's one that something comes in, and you instantly get that feeling, and then the head goes and it starts, you know, oh, this is awful, this is bad, this is, you know, I'm feeling anxious, and it's almost like that vicious cycle. You just kind of snowball into it, and as the head goes, the heart, you know, that feeling and that feeling of energy inside you, that kind of like pressure in there gets worse and worse. And then there's the other kind, which is created in the head. So this is stuff that doesn't really exist in real life. It's, you know, stuff that's happened in the past, my perception of things that have happened in the past, that, you know, that come from the mind and then into the heart and make me feel that, and then the head starts going. Or things that, you know, I'm fearful of the future. So for example, I gave before, you know, I came into fatherhood, and it was kind of like, you know, I felt like I was expected to be this man, expected to be strong, and I really struggled with that, and the anxiety around, what if I'm not enough? You know, what if I can't provide for this little child? What if things go wrong? And, you know, my mind would snowball so much that it'd start off me with something really simple, like, you know, I'd leave, you know, maybe mess up at work, and I'd end up losing my job somewhere down the line. And then, you know, when I was finished with it, when all was said and done, in my mind, I was living in a cardboard box by the side of the River Thames or something. That was how my mind used to work. And it's that, like I said, it's that snowball effect, because my awareness was on this stuff, and so it was gaining momentum, and then it was just taking over me, and I just felt like I couldn't get out of it. And all these feelings, all these beliefs that we have, you know, for me in that situation, the belief of not being enough, not being able to provide, not being able, you know, that it was all on me, and that there wasn't some kind of, you know, plan, or that things were all going to go drastically wrong. You know, it's all come from past conditioning for me. It's all come from things from my childhood all the way through my life, where I had this innate feeling that I just wasn't enough. And I am enough. Like, I know that today, that I am, and you are as well. You know, you are 100% whole and enough, exactly as you are. But it's, for me, it was breaking that, but you know, it's all good and well saying, okay, you know, we're going to go and work on these beliefs. But what about when these things first come up? You know, that's what I want to talk about today. What about these, when they first come into our awareness and we really get, you know, caught up in them? What can we do? And, you know, most of these, again, are around things that I either want to happen in life, and in what if they don't happen, or things that I don't want to happen, and what if they do happen. You know, that's what it was all around for me. So here's how I deal with it. And, you know, some of this stuff might resonate with you, might not. As with all my stuff, if it does, great. You drop a like, drop a comment, help share this stuff with other people. You know, hit that share button. If it doesn't, cool. You know, maybe it might help someone else. Maybe it just wasn't for you, and I'm all right with that. So what do I do? So, you know, first of all, the first thing that I notice when I'm experience this trigger is that tightness. I feel this energy come up, and it's not actually a bad feeling if you take out the chatter from the mind. If you take out the mind going, oh my God, this is horrible, I want it to stop, blah 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 blah. It's actually just energy rising up, and it's trying to come through. And it's almost like the analogy I like to think about is, you know, what's worse, an itch or the urge to scratch it? You know, for me, an itch I could just ignore all day, but with my mind saying you've got to scratch it, 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 that's when it becomes a problem, because I'm then fighting against the urge to scratch it. Or, you know, especially if it's like, I don't know, you cut yourself and you've got a graze or something, and, you know, you're not supposed to scratch it. It's like, oh, I really want to, and that's the worst bit for me, you know. And it's the same with this stuff. So when I first feel that coming up, and I feel that feeling come up, what I've noticed is my first instinct, and this is perfectly normal, it's perfectly, you know, in the situation, is to tense up. You know, I really tense up, and I can feel that tension in my shoulders. You know, if I'm doing this a lot, I'll suffer from neck ache, headaches, tension headaches, that kind of thing. And what I've noticed is that what I am doing is essentially that energy is coming up, and I am trying to stop it. You know, and this is just natural energy. And that energy is supposed to flow through us. These things are supposed to throw up. I mean, if anyone knows anything about the chakra system, it kind of supposed to flow up through the heart and up out of us, and it processes through life. And so yes, the first thing I do when I notice this stuff now, and listen, it's taken a while to practice this, but it's really good. It's really good technique and really good practice to kind of get in whenever you can, whenever you remember, is to relax. So what I do is I relax my shoulders, I relax my tummy, and I relax my chest, and especially that area around my heart. And it might take a few times to do this when I'm being triggered, when I've got that anxious feeling, all the thoughts are racing, and it's a conscious effort just to relax and just to let it. And, you know, then I'm just left with this feeling, and it's like almost like a little bit of a burning sensation. It's not unpleasant, but I can feel it coming up. So when I'm relaxed, and what I'm now not doing is stopping that energy flow. So my next step is basically just to accept that flow of energy, that feeling is there. You know, whether my mind likes it or not, whether I'm judging it and saying it's good or it's bad or whatever, just relaxing and letting it flow through, and just allowing it to flow through. You know, it's just by relaxing, you're kind of doing that, you know, just letting it flow and almost like leaving it alone. And then my final step is just to look away from it. And when I talk about looking away, I mean, I covered this in one of my other videos on YouTube. I'll drop the link to my YouTube, on Facebook it'll be up there. But on YouTube I'll stick a card thingy, whatever they're called, up there. And it's about, you know, that awareness around that. First of all, you're not your mind. You know, you're the awareness that sees the thoughts in your mind. So you're not your thoughts, you're not your mind. The second thing is that because you're not those thoughts and you're not your mind, you don't have to believe them. You don't have to believe that chatter that's in your mind. It's just another thing that's flowing through, just like the leaves on a tree, just like, I don't know, the books that I can see, but or the picture that you can see. No point me pointing to something you can't see. And you know, it's fine. You know, let's say I didn't like that picture. I actually quite like it. It's quite cool. It's supposed to be mum, dad, sister, my daughter, and her mum. But anyway, that's another subject. Let's say I didn't like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't look at it. I would just look at something different. It's the same with the stuff in your head, the thoughts. If I don't like what my mind is telling me, what I practice doing is looking away from it. I focus on the breath. The breath for me is fantastic. I love it. It's always there. It's always, well, I hope it's always there. It's always reliable and it's always present, you know. There's no problem in the breath. There's nothing to worry about. And sometimes, listen, this stuff, sometimes you need to repeat over and over again before you get the hang of it. It's like practice. It's like anything. But focus on the breath, or focus on something you can see, something you can hear. Any of your five senses, because any of your five senses are here and now. They're real. They're coming in, and you can skip through that, the mind that I talked about in the video Me, Myself and I. You can skip over that bit, and you can go straight to the body and just experience it as it is. And when you experience it as it is, there's no problems. And so yeah, and that's all I do, and I just do that over and over again. And what happens is, over time, where I let that energy flow through, the blockages that I've put in there, where I have trained myself to not like whatever it is I'm either resisting or trying to cling on to, it breaks it down, and that the effect it has on me when those things come up is lessened and lessened over time. And that's my experience. You know, I've been practicing this stuff for over a year now, and some of the things that used to really bother me, they just kind of flow past me like, I don't know, like a car that drives past the house. It just doesn't affect me, and it really has made a massive difference to my life. It's given me a lot of peace, and I'm just able to choose what I mind, what I give my attention to. You know, I don't have to worry about the things that the negative chatter in the mind. And we'll do, you know, I'll do some videos on how to kind of make that a bit nicer as well. But so yeah, I hope this really helps someone. If you like it, please help me get these algorithms fired up. If you're watching live, drop a heart. That'd be absolutely amazing. If you're watching on the replay, drop a smiley face or something. And if you're watching on YouTube, post it later. Please just drop a thumbs up. Share with any of your friends. One final thing is that I'm in the process of building a program to kind of help fathers like myself who struggled, to help them with life, to help them with this sudden change in life and how to deal with life as a father. So I'm asking any dads in their 30s or early 40s to fill in a questionnaire. It's a simple 5 questions. It will take you literally a minute, and if you can just fill it in, it'll be really amazing. It'll help me tailor something that can really make a difference to people that struggled like I did. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something from this. If you didn't see the beginning, I'll be posting this on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube to try and help you. And yeah, like I said, I'll drop the links for my YouTube and for the survey in the comments. So thank you so much for your support. It's been absolutely amazing. All the follows and likes, etc. have been fantastic, and I hope this helped. So I'll see you soon. Thank you.